The PSG-1. What can be more iconic in airsoft than this? What gun had a bigger influence on a whole generation of players than this rifle that was originally brought to us by Tokyo Marui in 94, 95. In airsoft, the PSG-1 is as revered and iconic as its real steel counterpart, and there are few guns that can be talked about in such terms because when it first launched, none can rival its quality, performance, and sheer wow factor. Culturally, the PSG-1 has been a hit. It's been featured in movies such as Angel Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, as well as classic Mel Gibson movie Lethal Weapon. You'll also find it featured in the hit video game series Resident Evil Revelations, and probably the most recognizable one in Metal Gear Solid, used by everyone's favorite childhood crush, Sniper Wolf. Okay, maybe just my childhood crush. 94, 95, it's almost 30 years ago now if you think about it. And if you talk to veteran airsoft players, they'll always go on and wax eloquently as to how well it shot, its shape, how cutting edge it was, how much good things Tokyo Marui packed into that AEG. But there was always one theme. I've always remembered they all talked about, man, I could only wish that this could somehow be like gas operated and functioned much like a real gun. 30 years ago, to have a gas blowback rifle that would function like a real gun sounded like a dream, sounded like science fiction. But today, it's no longer science fiction, but science fact. This is the gun that so many have hoped and prayed and dreamed and kept fingers crossed for so long. The Umarex PSG-1 gas blowback sniper rifle. The PSG-1 came to be due to what happened here. In 1972, a group of terrorists stormed the Munich Olympics and caused death and wounding to multiple people. And after this event, the then West German police realized they just didn't have the precision shooting capability to effectively neutralize terrorists, and H&K was then commissioned to rectify this. The PSG-1 is mechanically based off of the G3 battle rifle, and it features the same roller delay operating system found in that particular gun. A testament to this is, well, look at it. It kind of looks like a sniper rifle version of the G3. The metal receiver of the PSG-1 is very recognizable as it features some of the G3 lines as well as the stock, albeit enlarged for better shouldering, and features an adjustable cheek riser. When you handle the PSG-1, it feels really solid in hand. There's no wobble or shake to it. One thing I know you guys are curious about, what about that charging handle? Does it work? Well, it does. And you can slap it, just like all the other H&K guns. Just like that. Hope you guys are satisfied. Before we get into shouldering and talking about the details of how it feels, I want to say that this bipod doesn't come with the gun. This is the VFC Duty bipod, so if you want to get a bipod for this gun, that's the one that fits. Operation-wise, it feels very G3-esque. The selector is exactly where it's expected to be, and it's very stiff. I'm using my left hand to operate it right now, but if I use my right hand, due to the enlarged bolt carrier group area, it's very hard for me to select it in place and push it back up. Also, the proportions are huge. Maybe people in the then West Germany has humongous mitten hands. My dainty hands just can't reach the magazine release properly, and I have a hard time with the fire selector. Again, a me problem. I remember in the G3, the selector would snap into place very nicely. There was some resistance to it, but the detent and the feeling of snapping into place on the G3 was really nice. This one, it's very stiff. You can still feel the detent and it snap into place, but you really need to push down on this thing to get it into the fire's position. Now, this is a sniper rifle. You kind of want things to be hard and stiff. Anyways, the gun, it's heavy, I'm not gonna lie, but it shoulders incredibly well. And with how the buttstock has this lowered portion here for you to put your hand behind, It also cheeks very comfortably. The cheek riser can be adjusted by taking the knob here, pulling it out. It's a pin. You can press it down for it to be flush, or you can pull it up for it to be raised. I prefer the raised position. Just like that. Easy peasy. Being a heavy gun, there is some added benefit to this, and that is it should soak up more of that felt recoil into your shoulder, making this a slightly more accurate shooting platform. I know, it's an airsoft gun. How much is it going to kick? Well, think about it in terms of being able to absorb more vibrations, allowing the BB to fly downrange a little bit more consistently. So that's what I expect this gun to nicely be able to do. Internally, the PSG-1 features an enlarged cylinder and bolt carrier group, as I previously mentioned, which are new designs and are reinforced especially for this gun. It's compatible with previous G3 magazines, hallelujah, which means you can enjoy exceptional gas efficiency. Its inner barrel is 650 millimeters long and 6.05 in diameter. I expect no less from a sniper rifle. The hop-up system is new as well. You can adjust it towards the base of the outer barrel. A part I would like to highlight today is the trigger. The trigger is adjustable by using a small Allen key and loosening or tightening this screw back here. This allows you to really get your specific trigger feel you want from this gun. In conjunction with the adjustable palm shelf, you can really make this gun shoot exactly how you want it to shoot. And I expect when I do get to shoot it, it's going to shoot exceptionally. As an added bonus, the PSG-1 has a dry firing feature. How do you do that? On the magazine, there is a switch here. You take the tab, pull it down, move the metal tab over, pop the switch down, and you've engaged dry firing. When you insert the magazine back into the gun, make sure the charging handle is pulled back and locked. Insert the magazine, locks in, release. I'm gonna put this thing semi, and away you go. One of the joys of owning a gas blowback rifle is you can disassemble this thing and feel like you're doing it to a real gun. There's a sense of fantasy and romance there. So we're gonna take this thing apart and show you guys what it looks like on the inside. Before we get into any disassembly, let's point out a few things. First thing I want to talk about is the scope mount. Now, I know a lot of the aficionados out there will note that it doesn't come with the Picatinny rail. Don't worry, you can actually remove it by taking off this and this bolt here. Now, I don't want to do it because I don't want to risk scratching or scuffing up this gun. But if you undo these two screws, you can remove the mount, making it more authentic. And if you so happen to have a PSG-1 scope, it also works with a TM1, by the way, you can mount that directly onto this particular mount here. If you don't, you can always use the Picatinny mount. For the disassembly, what we're going to do is we're going to remove these two pins. We're going to slide the stock assembly off. Then we're going to be able to expose the bolt carrier group. And also through this back area, you should be able to access the trigger group. First thing we're going to do is remove the magazine. Once the magazine is removed, we push out these two pins here. It's a little stiff. You can use your trusty screwdriver. Push it out. I'm going to try to be a little bit more delicate. I don't want to scratch this. This comes out just like that. So that is your major components: trigger mechanism and fire control group, bolt carrier group. We have the recoil spring assembly as well as the stock assembly right here. Now let's talk about this assembly of the handguard, which allows you to access the hop-up. There's a screw here. It is retained. So you take a flathead screwdriver, place that in, and you rotate it. The screw would then come out. Once it's out, you can push the handguard forward. It slides off. Very beefy handguard. The hop-up adjustment is right here, so you can twist left or right for more or less hop. I'm using 0.2 gram BBs and green gas. As you can see, there's a small blip to the FPS, but it leveled out nicely afterwards. Here we are in the great outdoors. The keen eye among you may have remembered where we are from the EXA video, but I digress. We're out here today because the PSG-1 is a sniper rifle, so we gotta stretch it out. I'm going to be comparing the PSG-1 to the SR25 ECC. On paper, they're essentially the same gun, but let's see if the old school ergonomics makes for a better shooting platform compared to the new kid on the block. So, less talking, more shooting. Let's get down to it. So the first thing I noticed, it's pretty hot out today, so this gun is shooting really hot. And it's pretty loud, just like the SR25. Second thing I noticed, the trigger feeling on the PSG-1, it just takes a bit of time to get used to. Not like the AR trigger as you see on the SR25. I'm used to riding it, I'm used to shooting it. This thing just needs a little bit of time, but the reset feels very solid. Now we're out to 50 meters. Let's give it a go. Oh, that's a hit. Yeah, that's a hit. The reset is very, very, very pronounced, and you're right at the break. Doesn't recoil as hard as the SR25 because of this weight, but you feel it all right. A little high. Yep, that's a hit. Man, did I say that this thing was loud? My ears are ringing. A little high. A little high. Yeah, that's a hit. This AR trigger, I'm way more used to it. The reset, the feeling. But yeah, the reset is not as pronounced as the PSG-1s. 50 meters, not a problem. 60, and let's see if we can even hit a 70. Okay, a little bit of wind. Now I changed up the target so I can see it a little bit better this far down range. I think that was a little high, way high. It's getting there, but I'm having a little bit of issue. Yeah, we're landing almost right in front of it. I'm having such a great time shooting these guns, guys. Such good recoil, so loud. Okay, let's see if I can hit it with this one. Okay, it's getting there, but... Alright, I think there was one hit, but let's go and check out the SR25. The SR25 is reaching there, but it's a little squirrely at the end. Definitely doesn't fly as straight as the PSG-1. Guys, I might need hearing aids after this. It's getting there, but I'm having problems hitting it. A little bit over. Oh, I hit the paper on the bottom. Well, we know it could definitely hit 60. I'm gonna move it to 70, and let's see if at least we can reach out to that distance. 70 meters, let's see if we can just reach that distance. Yep, I mean, it's getting there, but it's dipping right in front. Yeah, it's dipping right in front, but we are definitely getting around that distance. SR25. Oh, it's getting there, but it's getting squirrely. I really have to lob it if I want it to get all the way there. It's dipping just a little bit in front, kind of like where that bush is. I mean, I can shoot until my face gets blue. It'll reach, but it's gonna take me a lot of effort to hit 70 meters. Not bad for a shoot today though. So what did we learn today? Today we learned that I may have semi-permanent hearing damage. Okay, jokes aside. 30, 40, 45 meters, the PSG-1 and the SR25, you're gonna kill it. It reaches, it hits, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But when you get beyond 45 up to the 50, the 60, and the 70, can you reach it? Yes, but you may need to work that trigger a little bit, your holdover, all of those factors in. Whereas the SR25, it gets a little squirrely out beyond that 50 meter range. All in all, I would say if you need to run and gun, if you need to move with your rifle, the SR25 probably is the better choice. It is lighter, but then it also kicks harder. The PSG-1, if you're a stationary guy and you're there and you need to hold down a choke point, or maybe you're a scout, then this PSG-1 is going to be the choice for you. Also, its heavier weight contributes to a much more pleasant shooting experience. It kicked, but it also absorbed a lot of that shock. And I feel like that is what contributed to a lot of the stability of the BB down range. With that in mind, back to the studio. Tim did a review of the PSG-1 AEG version almost 6 years ago, counting from today. Now, I also did a review of the SR25 as well. If you want to watch those videos, click on the card above, or you can find them in the description below. If you want to take a minute and go watch those, pause this right now, check it out, come on back. I got all the time in the world for you guys. There's a lot of gun here, and there's a lot going on. So if you're just now sitting there waiting for me to just say, well, the gun's a shooter, wrap it up, there it is. There you have it. It's a shooter, case closed. End of episode, www.redwolfairsoft.com. Go check out our online store, all of that. But what I want to do is I want to paint a picture for you guys. Try to think about that time when you used to play with model cars, whatever your dream model car was. It could be a BMW M3. It could be a Porsche 911. It could be a Dodge Challenger, or even an Aston Martin or a Ferrari. When you used to play with that model, did you ever at one time think to yourself, man, I wish one day I would be able to own this car? And suddenly, 30 years down the road, bam, your dream car is there and it's within reach. Most importantly, it's within your means. To a huge amount of people out there, the Tokyo Marui PSG-1 was that model car where they had this one, or the real one, hung up as the car poster in their room, looking at it every day, dreaming about it every day, hoping that one day they can own it. And yet here it is, right now. You can touch it. It's right here. The Umarex PSG-1 GBBR is a huge fulfillment to a bunch of people's dreams. Like every product though does have its flaws. Like, okay, the fire selector is stiffer than I'd hoped for, and with how the upper receiver is enlarged due to the bolt carrier group and cylinder makes selecting it and operating it one-handed not the easiest affair. And well, I'll just say it, the charging handle, I wish it was it could send forward with a little bit more oomph. But then again, maybe I just hyped it up a little too much in my mind. But all of that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the collector, to the player, and to the person who wanted to own a piece of weapons history. All of this is ancillary because, let me quote one of the great philosophers of our time, Jeremy Clarkson, when he said, people don't buy an Aston Martin for its 0 to 60 times or how fast it can go. People buy an Aston Martin because it's an Aston Martin. People go and buy this PSG-1 GBBR because, let's face it, it's the PSG-1 GBBR, not because of all its data points and statistics or how much it shoots, even though it shoots like a beast. But what do you guys think? I'm really interested to know. I'm especially interested to know, what does our younger crowd think about the PSG-1? Do you think this is cool, or do you still prefer something slightly more modern, like this SR25? Sound off in the comments below. Love to hear your feedback. If you want cool products like this, well, or this, and many more, don't forget to check out our online store at www.redwolfairsoft.com. Guys, if you liked this video, give us a like. If you thought it was cool, share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and press the notification bell so you get notified every time we have a new video uploaded. Guys, it's been such a pleasure showcasing the PSG-1 to you, and I'll see you on the next episode of RedWolf TV. Have a good one.